The Prophet ﷺ said that charity does not decrease money. Giving in charity does not decrease your bottom line. And he said that pardoning people does not do anything to damage your honor. And he said that to have humility is not debasing. It's not going to debase you. It's actually going to raise your station. And these three things go together because it's the opposite of what we expect. The first example is way more kind of immediate because we believe in the material world. We believe in numbers. We believe in dollars and cents, right? We forget about blessing and barakah. So we see $100. You say, if I give $100, that's it. I don't have $100 anymore. That's loss. Allah is saying if you give it, trusting in Allah, if you give it to charity, then Allah is going to bless that giving and make it return to you at least as much as what you gave, if not more. So that's a very, very spiritual practice. It takes a lot of spiritual maturity to be able to have that trust, to be able to give that $100 away, trusting that you're going to see it back and then some. It's completely the opposite of what we would expect. And so it demonstrates kind of the trust that somebody has or the lack of trust that somebody has. And pardoning somebody, the next part, the second third, pardoning somebody does not do anything to a person except raise them in honor. Why is that suitable? Why does that fit the context? Because we're afraid that if we forgive somebody, we're afraid that if we pardon somebody, we're going to get walked all over. We used to have this sort of this thing in Medina. Actually, it's more relevant to the last third, so I'll save it. We're afraid that if we pardon somebody, that we're going to look weak, that our forgiveness is going to be interpreted as weakness and we're going to get taken advantage of. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said no. By giving this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ said that if you forgive and pardon other people, it's only going to raise your honor. And the last part, being humble is not going to lower you or debase you, is only going to raise you. This is something we had a hard time implementing when we were in Medina, because as religious people, we were all ready to be all about the humble, meek, student, whatever. But we found in that society that didn't do anything for us, that you kind of had to be a jerk if you wanted to get your rights. Things that happen all the time. You'd get cut in line, or people would trample over your rights. They'd take things from you, or all these sorts of things. It was very, very difficult. And some of us caved in, realizing that if I just act like a tyrant and a jerk, people will respect me and I'll get what I want. You bust in, there's a huge line of people waiting, you start making a fuss, and then you get to the front of the line and you get what you want. That's how it worked. But the Prophet ﷺ said here, that's not the way. That the person of faith shouldn't cave into those sorts of things. That if someone is humble, that it's only going to raise them in status, whether you see it immediately or not.